and gentlemen, to the North American Challenger Series number 2, powered of course by Chaos TV. I am Reed Rapid Melton. Joining me once again is Daniel Egad Caruso. So,
Woo!
man, after that last game, what do you even pick anymore? I don't know. Quinn, we had Vel'Koz, we had the weirdest team comp I've ever seen for Victorious Gaming, and they lived up to their name, taking down vVv in game number 1.
Will they pick Quinn again? Will they pick Vel'Koz again? We will find out. Maybe it'll get banned. I feel like Vel'Koz could get banned. That was pretty rough for Pekin Wolf, if anything. But as I see, Renekton, Nidalee, Lulu, Pantheon, Yasuo, and Elise. So really nothing too crazy. With Shapoof prioritizing that Vi, and Chris going for the bot lane combination with Tails with Caitlyn and Thresh.
All right, well, no Quinn ban, no Vel'Koz ban. It says, oh, but there's a Sivir lock-in, and we're already going to see the talisman from Morgana, and then you build nothing but, well, you don't build move speed, but you turn on the hunt, you throw down the vault breaker into maybe an assault and battery, you get way out ahead of your team, and they just catch right on up to you with a lot of that overall team move speed. So really strong team comp here from Victorious Gaming, but I feel like it may be a little bit old. We'll have to see how vVv pick enough counter engage, maybe try to stop them, maybe like a Trundle pick for Chris top lane, something he's played before. See if he gets it a second time.
I feel like if you block shield Sivir and then just Vi ults, you can't stop them. So that's just pretty much the most fun composition you can have there. And Trundle up top is most likely very fun pick up there for Chris. Riven, not banned out, he could go for it again, but you know, doesn't want to get countered up by Quinn. And if you pick Trundle early though, you kind of give away that you want them to have a tanky top. And if they pick something that can damage you like Quinn again, that'd be really bad.
Yeah, that would be pretty rough. The other thing that's also going to be, kind of rough is going up against maybe a team that doesn't want to get engaged on. When you look at the Ziggs pick, it's not really something you just like pick Ziggs and then run at your opponent and throw bombs at him. Usually you want to like be kiting backwards and throwing a lot of bombs that you force your opponents to run through. It's great if you're ahead for like poke onto turrets because Ziggs takes turrets very quickly, but at the same time, what are we gonna see here? We're hovering over our dongers, and normally I wouldn't be raising them, but I don't know what to expect at all here from Victorious Gaming. They've pulled out some of the weirdest stuff, but they've made it work.
Top lane Heimerdinger, mid lane Anivia, you know?
Top lane Heimerdinger sounds absolutely horrible.
No, it's actually really fun. But there's the Quinn again and Syndra. It looks like the stream is down.
Hello, please respond. Alright, so we're back, and well, at least we should be back here in just a second. The biggest thing to watch out for is the Syndra pick mid lane. If you've never heard of the Wolf's Claw, you probably should. He's an incredible Syndra player. Played it a ton last season, and it's already his most played champion this season as well, along with the Vel'Koz and new Xerath. So this guy does not like playing the meta champions, and that's always exciting to see. Another pick for the Quinn, though, top lane is really interesting. And if you thought Quinn was fast last time, this time you're going to have On the Hunt. So still in a very incredibly aggressive move speed based composition here from Victorious Gaming. But vVv have already played against it once. It looks like the Shyvana pick for Chris. Instead of going for that big damage all-in champion, it's going to be a little bit tankier and maybe help out the rest of his team.
All right, so Shyvana still has some trouble though with dealing with range, and also Vault will stop the burnout. Not completely, but obviously it'll slow her down just a little bit and keep her away. But the true damage is going to be key for that matchup, as well as if we see ganks up there again. Last time Snuggle really didn't gank top for Chris last game, so maybe we'll see a change in that. And with Lee Sin this time around, it could be a little bit easier for him to chase down people because Evelynn doesn't really have a CC. We have the Tempest Cripple from Lee Sin, obviously, and I'm excited. He's showed us that Quinn top can work, even against some of the best champions that Chris has.
And especially against Shyvana, 80 carries top lane, and especially like the new Rise that's coming out top, really abuses the top lane tanky meta because sustain just isn't quite as prevalent as it used to be. Itemization, and of course, like the defensive mastery tree, both getting a few nerfs, may make it possible for either 80 carries, Quins or Mages to kind of come back in that lane. And here we are hopping into our spectator delay, which means we are going to head to a quick commercial break. But man, if you guys thought game 1 was good, then stick around for game number 2. We've got Victorious Gaming, your team in the blue, taking on vVv. Victorious Gaming up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. We'll see if vVv can bring it back, take it to game number 3. I am Rapid. I'm here with EGAD, and we'll be right back with the North American Challenger Series number 2 here on Chaos TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American Challenger Series number 2 here on Chaos TV. I am Rapid, here with EGAD, And we're getting into our second game in this best of 3 series. It's been a crazy ride so far. We've seen not one, but now 2 Quinn games. But instead of that Vel'Koz mid, we're seeing DeWolf's Claw take Syndra up against Pekin Wolf's Ziggs.
And Syndra, another champion with a lack of mobility, and something that can be capitalized on with Satchel Charge. You know, Lee Sin can chase him down too. So I'm excited for the late game. It's going to be action-packed and speed-filled. But I think the early game advantage is definitely gonna go to vVv, especially now that everyone's spread 5-point. No one's gonna look for an early invade, and should be relatively calm for now.
And that's an interesting comparison to game number 1, a game where DeWolf's Claw actually gave up first blood it was like level 1 first blood, got taken out there by some crazy Riven antics by Chris. That was really cool to see last game, but this time around it's gonna be a lot more standard, a lot safer. Like you said, safe spread across the board. Gets snuggled. He, instead of going for that Evelyn, which actually worked out pretty well, will be on Lee Sin, a big playmaker. We'll have to see if that is what it takes to bring vVv back in the series.
And if anybody can do it, vVv can. Shootpuff going up, dropping a ward, and looking to make sure that nobody's being sneaky around the map. And with the positioning of Tails and Gonti, it looks like a lane swap's going to come in. Chris does not want to have any of that Quinn again, as Snuggled and Gonti and Tails go for a blue steal. He goes over the wall. DeWolf's Claw does spot him out. It'd be cheeky if you started W, took the blue, and just threw it away and made it reset, but it looks like he didn't.
Yeah, alright, so no taking of that blue, but interesting to see there's already a lane rotation coming in here. We've got the 2v1 top, but already the dual lane coming up there is Ricari and Huggybot coming back from base. They're going to leave Shootpuff up in that lane for just a little bit, but it looks like Gonti actually getting chunked down pretty low. Shootpuff's playing that aggressively because he knows he's heading back to base anyway.
Whoa, alright, so he blinds them, and without, barrier, and they flash forward, it looks like Binding comes in and they find the counter kill. He didn't die. They will chase down Tails and get the first blood for Ricari this time around. Beautiful play to come in.
Yeah, so Tails flashing in there for the auto attack didn't get the kill, and then flashed like almost right into a dark Binding. He's like, wait a second, why is Morgana up here? Not what you want to see, but already another lane swap as Chris heads back to base from the bottom lane, and now headed top into that 1v2.
That was crazy, and the reverse swap now puts them so far behind that it's actually ridiculous. But Shapoof is still going to have a really tough time getting CS and levels. Meanwhile, Huggy and Ricari are going to have about a 2 to 3 level lead over their counterparts, while Pekin Wolf and DeWolf Claw just trade it back out and forth. Syndra's so good at doing that. Shapoof sees them, he's like, oh man, I gotta deal with this again. He's trying to pick up whatever CS he can, and XP, and there's a level 2. Meanwhile, Gonti's a little lacking behind, but Tails will be fine when he gets there.
And I feel like the mid laners, DeWolf's Claw and Pekin Wolf, are just like, what's going on? We're just staying in our lane farming, but everybody else is making these crazy rotations. Junglers finally finishing their first round through the jungle. We'll look to see their impact on the game here in not too long as they head back to base. But yeah, these lane swaps are crazy, and already we're seeing maybe a Shootpuff roam towards mid.
It looks like he's rotating towards top. He's just going to take the long way without backing, and he'll run his way up there to deal with Chris, as now that puts Chris a little bit ahead of him. He's got that level 3. While the wave did build up, he's going to lose a lot of it to the turret too. Ricari, though, in a perfect situation for himself with that kill, and that nice little level lead on Tails there. Throws the Boomerang Blade, does a ton of damage with that. And with Pekin Wolf low on mana here, actually with no mana, the Wolf's Claw is going to have a really have his way with him.
Shootpuff, still level 2, just walked from bottom lane to top. He just clicked on that top turret, walked straight up there. I've never seen that done before. So an interesting way of getting up there. Took a very long time, so he's gonna have to come back in this lane now, down a level versus Chris. But maybe that's the advantage that Chris was looking for with all these crazy lane swaps to get so he doesn't have quite as rough a time versus Quinn.
Oh boy, this is gonna be some game. I'm not sure what to expect out of it. Little dive comes in, forcing out a flash. I don't know whose flash that was, because Tails and Gonti didn't have it. It looks like that was Azran's flash as he tried to hit him. But now, Snuggle making the play in the mid lane here. Gets stunned up. Nice play by the Wolf's Claw. He's going to be able to run away from that. And ganks not going the way they want to from both sides.
Yeah, nice escape from that gank by the Wolf's Claw. He did it without blowing his flash. Just landed a nice stun off that Dark Sphere. So It's really you can tell a lot of skill there from the Syndra players who realize their immobility and then are able to counter it out. Flash over the wall there from Get Snuggled. He was taking the hard way out as he does escape from Azren, who is playing very, very aggressively, catching him out in the jungle.
Using that Vi damage so strong, even with Lee Sin's kit, it's just so hard to trade with Vi when she breaks your armor. We're seeing Chris get countered out there with the vault. Ricari gonna eat a little bit of damage from the turret. And what's fun is that Black Shield actually does negate the damage from Flay auto attacks. So now we're seeing a little bit of a charge forward here. Gaunty gonna look for possibly a hook or a Flay, but decides not to. Backs out. Shapoof trading with Chris again, using that true damage and just forcing him to run away scared.
Yeah, Chris, especially as Shyvana, you either have to go for the all-in or just build up crazy tank stats and use that to sort of ignore the Quinn damage. But Quinn actually does so much damage off of her Harrier passive. It allows you a lot of bonus damage when it goes on to the enemy carry. And there you go, just bouncing right back away.
Looks like they're going in into Huggy 804. He's going to get slowed up by the Tempest Cripple. And it will be Snuggled actually getting the kill there. No Pillar of Peacemaker kill for Tails. And first successful gank of the game. Not bad.
Yeah, and the kill will go on over to Get Snuggled. And I feel like normally that'd be a good thing, but we've already seen games most recently in like NACL where he gets really, really fed but cannot do a whole lot for his team. So we'll have to see how well these skills start to stack up. Azran, though, very, very low. There's where's Ace in the hole? Oh wait, you're only level 4. You're at 7 minutes because of all those lane rotations. Shoot up. There we go. Chris gets the all in, gets the kill.
All right, so there we go. Level 6 achieved for him. All he needed to close the distance and finally take down that annoying pesky Quinn in that top lane. We just see the Wolfsclaw coming to help out with this push that's coming in, but they will just pull the Lantern and back on out and go back to farming while Chris finally can just go to do what he wants to do normally and just dirty farm as well as get some serious damage on that turret. Oh no, the bait.
Don't do it, the death sentence. No, Black Shield's gonna save you now. One more auto attack from Tails. He does take out Ricari with the net.
Really sneaky and tricky play from vVv there to get them that kill in that bot lane. But it does secure them a bit of a lead as well as put Tails actually still fairly even with Ricari. And they will possibly actually get this turret with this push.
Yeah, no minions actually killed there by Huggies, so he didn't stop any of those turret auto attacks from hitting champions. Wave not cleared out. And now finally it will die, but that turret bottom lane really taking a lot of pain. The biggest difference I feel is of course in the top lane where there's a 20 CS advantage. Chris over top of Shupuf, and this is kind of the opposite of what we saw in game 1 where Shupuf really just kind of ran away with that lane.
All right. So blue buff gonna get thrown over to Pekin Wolf. We need a blue buff to go to the Wolfsclaw to keep it even there. Speaking of that mid lane, still a little bit of a CS lead for the Wolfsclaw, even though he roamed. Azran gonna find a red steal though and deny that from Snuggled, so that'll put him a little bit ahead in the jungle. And yeah, it's really not too much action just yet. You know, that one dive up top from Chris, just abusing that level 6. And now that Shapoof is level 6, we can see him use his own transformation into Valor. And there's the first turret of the game in the bot lane.
Exactly. First turret going over to Victorious Gaming, just off of that recall from Tails and Gaunty. Not really timed the greatest, but more importantly, you look at Victorious Gaming, they've got this ward coverage out there. I think they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wards out on the map, just very evenly spread. 3 of those wards are pink wards, so those are going to stay around for a little bit longer. vVv, though, do have the kill advantage and gold advantage, and setting up for this dragon could be very, very important. Flay lands onto Ricari. There's one spell shield, but you got the you got the Black Shield. Silver Morgana lanes. Really hard to catch him out.
But now that he's out of mana, though, it makes it a little bit rougher. He doesn't have the coin or medallion finished up there, so not too much mana regen. Seeing the satchel charge attempt from Pekin Wolf, but Snuggle will get spotted up by Pink Ward, take that one out when he sees it. Attempting to gank mid, but just that brush has been the Pink Ward home for the Wolfsclaw. Now we're gonna see him actually land a stun, get a bunch of damage in with those orbs, drops ignite, and he is dead. He flashes forward, but I guess he was uncertain that the ignite was gonna kill what it was.
That's a kill secured nonetheless. There's a Mega Inferno Bomb. The Wolfsclaw dodges it somehow, but the satchel charge bounces him back. Even though Azran will try to stop Chris, it's too much damage from Pekin Wolf, who will find the counter kill.
Ooh, nice sentence there onto Huggy, but nothing else to follow up. There wasn't a binding, but really can't answer it. And now the push comes in, and this turret could go down. Those are Berserker Greaves completed on Tails too, so Gonna get those extra autos in when he can.
All right, so Tails is going to go for the Berserker Greaves first instead of building up a BF sword. This is the I want to stay in lane basically forever, but Shootbuff wants to find this dive on a Peek and Wolf. Flashes in there, but he gets barrier baited. Isn't enough. The last auto is not enough, and somewhat questionable dive there by Shootbuff gives Chris even more of an advantage.
All right, so now we're not going to see that Quinn be as effective as last game for a while. Oh, nice little spell shield out there to stop the hook, and there is the second turn of the game going in favor of vVv, as it is even in that aspect. Looking at Dragon now, some pings coming in from vVv's side as they definitely want to get this extra objective to help them keep their nice little lead.
But nobody's really capitalizing on that. There's too much pressure bottom lane, and with the recall mid from Peek and Wolf, even though he did die there, it's no damage just yet. Kicking him into turret. No turret shot. There's one. Nice stun there. Double stun, actually, from Wolf's Claw. And somehow, after getting kicked into turret, into two champions, he will make it out alive. Slow goes down there, but Chris just dives too hard.
Wow, he landed slow on top of himself, too. That was well played, but just can't seem to get away from everything. He can only juke so much. Flash Play comes in on Super Carry. Does get the spell shield on the Descendants and actually ends up popping the hunt and getting out of there. Really interesting enough that Black Shield helping out too with the wall. So nice job to juke away. Not juke away, but just get away from their initiation from Gaunty, and now they're going for Dragon.
Yeah, the disengage is so big here for vVv, or for VG, Victorious Gaming. I don't know how vVv are really going to be able to catch them later on, but more importantly, you actually have to want to, you know, pick up turrets, take objectives, not just keep running away. And while that's something that VG eSports have been able to do very effectively, sooner or later, you actually have to get some objectives. And especially with aggressive dives like Shootbuff has made, that I feel like it doesn't really fit into their overall focus of just playing safe and poking things out.
Well, poking things out as well as Wolf's Claw is doing to Peek and Wolf. As even though he's 3-0, he's still having a rough time. They both have their themes. He's going to pick up like Boots and Rod probably, or maybe Sork Shoes if he wants. Now Pinkware's going to clear out from the Wolf's Claw's brush, and it looks like Chris is actually chasing down Shootbuff, but he'll steal the white away, and we'll get revealed. And now the Wolf's Claw's in a really bad spot here.
Yeah, not sure this is where he really wants to be. Drops the slow onto Chris. More orbs to come out. There's Shootbuff here. It's a 1v2, but Chris is so far ahead. Azran's here, but he's just looking for the range. Need to see a stun. Long range landed. Oh, Azran. Now Chris in a lot of trouble. Mega Inferno Bomb's going to flash back away. Wolf's Claw very low. He gets taken down but gets snuggled. He's going to flash over the wall, stay safe for now, and then we'll actually try to ward jump back over if that's where he wants to go.
He might actually just go into Shootbuff here. He's trying to kite out Peek and Wolf. Good bombs coming in. Nice satchel to disengage. Azran still looking for a chase. Sonic Wave goes in, and where are they going to go here? Shootbuff really needs to choose where he goes very carefully because he could die in an instant. Now, we're jumping over the wall. Snuggle going to go in, gets the kick and the slow as well. And maybe they're going to be able to get it here. That wall is a little too thick to throw a bouncing bomb over.
Yeah, I didn't find that bomb. If that bomb had landed, you might see Get Snuggle dive even more aggressively here. He is chasing VG Sports back and pushing Azran and Shootbuff about as far back as you can get. Pink Ward at the blue buff. Scouts it out for now, but will we see a steal attempt here from vVv?
We are going to not see it as still being pressured out. Maybe actually they're kind of thinking about it. Bouncing bombs galore, as well as some wards, and a nice double stun. And she threw actually the little golem minion instead of one of her orbs. Chris is down bot right now. Double shields come in. He pops the burnout, but they'll just face tank the turret and grab themselves the third turret of the game.
Minions moving really fast up there, but on the hunt, once again, used defensively instead of offensively to pick up an advantage. Now here, oh, the smite from Get Snuggled. He steals it, but Shootbuff actually bounced back over the wall instead of being able to chase that. Get Snuggled just going to get all in, so multiple ways to get the blue buff. No smite necessary there for the Wolf's Claw. Just kills out Get Snuggled after the steal.
That was really good, but a really good smite steal, but then a really good follow-up from the Wolf's Claw, and that vault back over. We do see a binding into the brush. They do spot them out. There's the shackles onto Chris. He gets knocked up mid-air by the vault breaker, and they get a nice two-man stun as well. The black shield's gonna get popped instantly. Ignite comes out with the satchel charge, and it will secure the kill for Gaunty there. And with knowing that there were 4 members of vVv there, I'm surprised that they still went for that. Like, really surprised.
I'm surprised by a lot of things that both teams are going for. It's like, I'm going to go for a smite steal on the blue buff right in front of a burst mage that can kill me instantly. Or I, as a jungler, are going to go in on that and then just kind of die away from the rest of his team. So, a little bit rough there, but still vVv getting the kills, getting the turrets, are now up to a 4,000 gold. 4.4 thousand gold lead. 4.3 thousand. All right, I got the math right sooner or later. There you go. It's vVv in a much stronger position here in game number 2. If we were trying to compare this time in the game to game number 1, it was a very different story. VG eSports ahead both mid and top lane. This time around, the Quinn having a much rougher time.
We'll see if he can actually come back here. But the ranking's still pretty good late game against a lot of the HP that we'll see on Snuggled and Chris. Still Peaky Wolf, not really responded to. Deathless this game. Azran gonna run into get snuggled here. We're gonna have Valor coming in and getting kicked back out, but you cannot stop this bird as Vault Breaker and Assault and Battery chase down here. Blade of the Ranking comes out. Azran will find that kill. And still in Valor form though. Didn't pop it to try to steal it away from him. They were content with just splitting up that gold.
Yeah, that's actually kind of confusing to me because I would have much rather seen Shupuff pick up that kill to try to get himself back in that lane against Chris. He's coming back in CS, but look at all this wave Chris is gonna get. This is starting to get a little bit scary because you need that brutalizer for the early armor penetration to be able to even touch Chris right now, who's stacked up so much early armor.
Oh boy, now he's asserting his dominance with that red buff, and wow, that auto attack actually did nothing, even with the true damage there. So Chris, pretty much untouchable here, unless like 3 or so members respond like they are from the side of VG. They're going in, Vault does not connect, stun, nope, not enough range, and Chris will be able to walk right out.
And now we've got Gaunty defending the mid lane by himself. All right, so he's just there for moral support. He's like, come on, minions, you can do, and then they just die. It's really depressing, but he's Thresh, so he's probably already pretty depressed anyway by he's carrying around that lantern. But either way, it's the double black shield, a lot of spell shields, and that, I mean, it's cool. It's gonna stop a lot of burst damage maybe later on, but I really want to see the Quinn kind of get back into her own, and that's really going to be up to Shupuff by himself. Sees that Chris is trying to go for that white, pops the vision over the wall with those heightened senses, which, by the way, in case you guys didn't know or aren't familiar with Quinn, it's a 50-second cooldown on heightened senses. So, all right, well, Chris is on the escape.
just dragons over the wall. He's like, peace out, guys, and goes back to farming top. While Tails and crew do look for some counter juggling and some ward clearing. Blinding not going to connect out there from Huggy. If that did, that would have set up for so much. Could have been a good pick, but still, Ricari maybe chasing down. Did get a little bit of the speed boost. Stun comes out, but a ward jump over the wall will get snuggled to safety. And now Dragon spawning at the perfect time, and they should be able to get this unless there's a big contest here from VG, which it looks like there might be.
Yeah, bouncing bomb being thrown out there by Pekin Wolf. The Dragon very low. The smite's good. Perfect get snuggled. Will get bound out over the wall, and no questions asked to flash away there from Azran.
All right, so nice little play there by vVv. A little unfortunate that Azran couldn't find the steal, but has to use the flash to get out and not die. So saves his life that way, but they're down 5,000 gold this point from VG. A much, much stronger showing from vVv this time around.
vVv after taking down that dragon. I think that's the second dragon of the game for them. Yeah, 18 minutes, and it's still going to be a very strong vVv, but when you look to defend this bottom turret, you're going to need some extra help, and with Quinn top lane, this is going to be a 4v5. A lot of wave clear there just from DeWolf's Claw, but I think there's too much just like beefy tankiness for this turret really to mean all that much, and certainly won't stop vVv for going for a dive.
The level deficits are pretty important too, as 2-level lead for Pekin Wolf over to Wolf's Claw. Level 2 ultimate's gonna hurt like crazy. We're gonna look for a possible flare hook here. No, maybe Chris is gonna go the back line and see the Sonic Wave, but a Black Shield will stop that. And Ziggs is actually a good response to Morgana because he can pretty much just one-shot her shield off because it's not a full AP Morgana, and there is no AP scaling it. So really interesting to see the interactions now.
And with that second tier turret taken down, it's vVv who extend their turret lead to 4-2. Top lane turret did fall as Shupuff was able to take that one down, but nice use of heightened senses there to scout out Chris coming back top to defend.
And the Wolf Skull gets a blue buff now. He's level 11, has some extra damage for the ultimate. Looks like he's going for a DFG next. Gonna have that 30% CDR, 40% actually with this blue buff now. You have the spam with those abilities like crazy, and we'll see if he can actually hold the turret. And like you said, 4-2 in turrets. still that 6,000 gold lead, and surprisingly enough, this kill count is a lot lower than last game. It looks like vVv decided to put the brakes on and say, no, we're going to stop this and we're going to play at our own pace. And VG's kind of forced into that.
Well, I think back to like the 8-minute dive through the mid by Shoepuff that really set him almost unrecoverably back in lane. Now he's going to get a little bit of extra gold for 10 and then gold on minion kill from having the Avarice Blade as he wants to go for the Yomus, but not even sure that's really going to be able to get him back against Chris, who already has those Ninja Tabby, Sunfire Cape, and oh, by the way, is sitting on 2,000 gold.
Well then. Alright. That'll be his Blade of the Rune King when he goes back to buy when he feels ever so comfortable to do that one. The Wolf Skull trying to hold out. Huggy will block up that shot for the Wolf Skull though. Destin is not going to connect, and Chris gonna zone out Shoepuff again.
And this is Caitlyn, just one of the best AD carries at taking down turrets next to like Jinx or something. Incredible long range, great, very safe at poking, and you can just see vVv, perfectly coordinated rotations. They go bottom lane, take a second tier there, take a second tier in the mid, and then rotate top.
Alright, and now we see Assault and Battery going in. They're trying to make a play here from VG, but a beautiful ultimate comes in from that Ziggs. And then Azrin is going to be the first to fall. The Shackles aren't going to connect. Shoepuff barely surviving thanks to the Blade of the Rune King activation. And that was pretty much VG just getting completely poked out. Flashes forward. Dragon Breath not going to pick up the kill. Tails way too aggressive, tanking the turret and getting bound underneath that one to find his second death of the game. And it looks like they were trying to chase down Rakeri, but he gets out just fine. But the tier 2 turret up top, going to go down.
Now, Shoepuff's coming back into this. I can't imagine he's just looking to keep this. Okay, well, Chris gets blinded. Can't kill the turret. A couple more auto attacks will, of course, finish it off. And now Chris disengaging Shoepuff. I don't think he's just going to let him back here. Lantern, though, will sort of make him a little bit sadder about that. Mid lane turret does actually go down. Nice split push there from Rakeri. We'll take it out, but ooh, gets Snuggles on the run. It might actually run right in to the Wolf's Claw, but some fancy moves trying to get away.
Oh boy, and gets the ward jumps, and Rakeri cannot chase that one down. Chris is not going to get his back stopped by Shoepuff, who is sitting on that Avarice Blade, kind of stacking it up with another longsword. So could be going for Trinity Force, could be going for Shiv. Be a little variation this time around, but a tier 2 in the mid lane looking to go down here, as it will be VG Esports with a good map sense to be like, everybody's backed, let's go take this quick turret and back on out.
All right, so once again, very good shot calling here for the Sivir. Say, hey, Rakeri, we lost this fight. Go mid, take down that first tier turret, and then just vVv not rotating very well. But oh, Shoepuff, he's gonna get the bounce over the wall if he can find it. Couldn't get it off in time. You can actually vault over that wall, and it's really cool to see. Flashed in there, but no Flayed or Death Sentence to land. Stun going out there onto Chris, misses. Won't be able to keep him safe.
Ah, that was really close, and there was really no way Shoepuff could get out of there, because the ace in the hole had connected. He has no barrier. It's just really rough for Quinn to survive at this point with no summoners too. So nice little catch out there, and almost a good flash hook from Galti, but nice little strafe from the Wolf's Claw. Keeps him safe and alive, and also prevents him from doing Baron, which would have been really bad for VG's side.
Now, Shoepuff is playing the same style that he did in game number 1. The big difference is that he doesn't have 13 kills. He split the 1 and the 3 between the kill and the death column. Not the way he wants to do it, but he's still playing the same way, like he's super far ahead and can get these crazy duels off. But yeah, that's not really going to happen. But there's a Blade of the Ruined King completed there for Chris, and you see him picking up magic resistance, and that may make it a little bit easier for Shoepuff to pick up a kill if he can just kite Chris out. But holy cow, Chris is fast.
Yeah, and that burnout was so good, but Shoepuff still not giving up on this top lane, still trying to push up and farm up as much as possible. He still has to respond to Chris, and he's actually making Yomu's Ghost Blade, which is the item I forgot to list. So still going for that double activation item build, and this next dragon looking to go for vVv. They're pretty much perfect on those, having all of them every game. Death Sentence, having all of them this game, excuse me. And Gonti missing out the Death Sentence. Can't really find anything to fight. Well, Chris though, still asserting his dominance and pressure up top, taking that 30 CS lead, and making sure that Shoepuff doesn't go anywhere else.
Exactly, and when you can just stop that split pusher from, well, split pushing, it's like, well, what do you do with a Quinn? You can try to group and team fight, but I have to think that maybe that's not quite what you want to do if you're VG eSports. So, Victorious Gaming, they were victorious in game number 1, but that was off of a huge performance from Shootbuff. And I really want to see this guy come back into his own, because it feels like he maybe a little bit lost sometimes, getting caught out a couple times, dying way back behind enemy lines, and just play it safe, farm up your Youmuu's Ghostblade, and try to use those double actives to make some crazy plays.
We'll see. He still might be lacking in damage either way, even with those items when he does get them. But we'll see. As Chris now going behind Shapoof. Gonna get a bunch of damage. Blade of the Rune King, Twin Fangs doing so much there. Blade of the Rune King response from Shapoof, but it's not enough. That Dragon's Ascent will secure that kill. And are they going towards Baron right now? It looks like they're backing up and heading towards it. Is there no wards? And there goes the bouncing bomb that misses, but they still start it.
And I'm not sure that VG eSports really know what's up right now. They are pushing down that mid lane. They need to get some eyes on Baron, because especially with the death of that top laner, you have to know that something's going on. But incredible ward coverage from vVv will keep them really incognito for a very long time, long enough to take down this Baron. With some bouncing bombs to come out, Huggy's going to take some damage, and it becomes all too obvious here to VG eSports that they have just lost not a 21-minute Baron like they lost in game 1, but now a 26-minute Baron, still just as strong.
Oh boy. So they're going to try to put that buff to use when they can go back and shop, which they are doing right now. Looks like the Infinity's Edge and BT Rush coming out from Tails, so no Last Whisper. Noticing that they don't have any armor actually on the side of VG, so that is actually going to just destroy them. But he actually is losing in CS, as Ricari has been doing a great job of CSing this game, opposed to Chris versus Shapoof, who's been just shoving him in and actually killing him solo, which is really not the best sign for VG.
VG eSports, man, if you had to pick a game to go just as long as the last one, I'm pretty sure they want to do that. If they can just get maybe a couple more items on Shootpuff, we can start to either be a split pushing presence or a 1v1 threat. But right now, I don't think too many people are scared of a 1-4 Quinn.
If he went in 1-4 at this point, he'd be like, am I Evelyn? I'm stealth? Can you guys see me, right? No? No? All right. And I don't know where I was going with that. Just kind of thought about an invisible Quinn just approaching everybody. But she pretty much would just get destroyed in every fight, so she's trying to split push catch up. And not really finding that success. She's got a Ruby Crystal, so looking for her Phage and Trinity Force, going for the same build last game. While a little bit of a push comes in from mid lane here from VG, they're shoving out the waves, making sure that Pika Wolf isn't pushing. Snuggled, pushing down bot though, may run into a Quinn fairly soon, but she's not going to contest, and just looking for that big juicy wave.
And so for now, it's going to be just really sort of the wind-up. It's like you want to deliver that big uppercut. I'm not sure if you guys ever played like Super Punch Out or something, but like you're winding up and just getting ready to deliver the killing blow. Victorious Gaming have been behind for the majority of this game, and now it's vVv who are actually looking forward to be very, very victorious themselves. And wave clear's good here for DeWolf's Claw versus Chris, but that's not the matchup that's going to define this game. It's going to be this huge mid lane push from Tails, who's had a good game in his own right. He's down a little bit of CS, but is more importantly Kaylin, and has done a great job pushing turrets.
Alright, so now they're going to use the blue buff Ziggs to push down, use those bombs, harass out forever, and set up the mines too. Gonna look for death sentences if they can, and Tails is going to be able to just demolish turrets at this point. Pink wards get dropped out. They're going to clear out the sides of the base. Cycled still pushing down that bot lane. Well, Chris, that untouchable force up top, gonna use the Blade of the Rune King and harass that Shootpuff. While a stun does connect on the Tails, he's forced to get the Mikhail's Crucible. Death Sentence comes through, but does not find its marker, as Chris still doing what he wants.
And look at Chris. There's nothing you can do against that guy. The extra armor pen from Youmuu's, it's cool and everything, but the next item in Shootpuff's build is a Trinity Force. Will take tons of time before he can find that item, and I'm not sure that's time that VG have to give.
They do not have time to give it all as Death Sentence coming out. Oh, almost finding its mark in the Wolf's Claw. Meanwhile, still the push going through. Nice two-man stun comes through, but nothing to follow up, unfortunately, as they're still zoned away by that Ziggs. Azrin and Snuggled going 1v1 and going at it. That Tiamat build is doing work for him, but they do the Assault and Battery to go through onto him. They force out a snipe and the hunt. Can they actually counter-engage is the question. It looks like no. Baron Bro still the deterring factor here. And VG still trying to hold on.
And they're actually doing a really good job of it. They're not losing health on turrets. Now, they might off of this next push, but they had to blow a lot of ultimates there, and that just makes it pretty scary. Oh, Pekin Wolf's gonna get caught out there. Might make it out alive. Shootpuff's going in, gets the Blade of the Ruined King, and just gets blown apart. Shootpuff finally gets the 1v1 he wants.
And it was on Pekin Wolf. That's the main target to stop their pushing. And will be chased down, though. Gets the vault. Cannot get away. There's the binding and the box in response, though. Will get Gaunty killed there by the Unleashed power from that Syndra. Meanwhile, you know, we saw Queen getting chased out there. Shootpuff gets taken out, but a noble sacrifice makes it a 2-for-1 trade.
At 2-for-1. And really, the two champions you really want to deal with. Tails can't fight by himself. Chris is still really scary, but he's going somewhere. All right, he's coming back. We want to defend this dragon. It's getting DPS. Tails is in the area. Has some damage. Binding on to get snuggled. He's not going to be able to get there in time. Piltover Peacemaker comes through, but it's just not enough. And now, oh, VG Esports, they need to get out of here. And instead of going back over the wall, they're going to try to turn this one right back around. Gets snuggled, goes down. And while Tails is in the back, he's doing tons of damage. Flash out from Azran. Does he have what it takes? No, the red buff. And Ace in the hole takes him out.
What was a good play for VG turned into a horrible play, and now is in the favor of vVv. They do get the dragon from VG's side, but they lose 3 members for it, so it's really not worth it. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the Baron. Looking to see if we'll see some wards and some aggression placed towards that one. While Shootpuff may run into a very low Chris here. Gonna get some auto attacks, get the blind and the true damage, but cannot do much to follow up. That Warden's Mail just really stopping him in his tracks. And now the mid turret's probably gonna go down. Oh, nice stun comes in, slow DFG, and he just obliterates Chris now. Tails, though, ignoring that fact and going for a possible inhibitor. Now gets the shield from the Lantern, pulls it out as Talisman of Ascension 2 to disengage.
All right, so that nice Talisman usage to get in, get out, but like you said, inhibitor still stays alive. VG Esports are just holding on by, like, the skin of their teeth. I've never understood that phrase, but it means that they're just barely holding on. And now that we're seeing maybe pressure onto Baron, it's respawning in just about 30 seconds. So this is, I feel, really going to define the game. If you can maybe get a Baron throw, steal that away, VG Esports are right back in it. But until that time, they are going to be stuck on the defense.
All right. We see Ricari moving up towards top towards Snuggle, but not going to look for the fight. And definitely want the defense around this Baron pit. See at least 1 ward from VG's side. None placed yet from vVv's side. We're going to probably see Gaunty rotate over there now and look for that. And this could be a key fight for VG if they can actually pick someone off, pick off 1 or 2, try to sneak into Baron, or take more control and bait it out. That's definitely a sign that they can come back. But if vVv secure this next Baron, I'm pretty sure that this game is going to look very, very hard for them. But there goes the binding and the stun. He gets the McHale sent to himself, though. And we find that no one dies, but getting dangerously low from both sides. They both back out.
And this is actually a really safe play here from vVv. I'm kind of surprised. I think Chris is going to try to zone VG Esports while the rest of vVv try for the Baron. But they haven't started it. Gaunty's really chunked, and this is not a position you want to be in because now Gaunty needs to go back and heal. He's been scouted out, now trying for the hook, can't find it. Ricari now chunked as well, binding onto Tails. Shootpuff getting vision of the area, but now here's the engagement.
All right, and it looks like Ricari will go down to the back line. Tails is unstoppable, just doing what he wants. Chris is still tanking up. Azran has the Dragon's Descent, if anything, goes back, knocks it back even further, and they will find 2 kills. Actually, 3 kills as Tails was just tanking down and zoning the Wolf Claw, and this is going to be Inhibitor? Possibly. Could be game. No, I think it's going to be Inhibitor to Baron. They're pretty low. They do stop Huggy's back, and they will get the hit for the kill, as well as, are they trying to end, though, is the question. They got 30 seconds, and I think Shootpuff can't stop this. This should be game.
Yeah, this is actually going to be the end. Shootpuff, he's got the 1v5 of his life, and death. The cycle continues. He will go down. Chris will stay alive, and some very, very victorious vVv will find themselves a win and bring it back to a 1-1 score here in a best of 3 in the North American Challenger Series number 2. And man, if you wanted a better series than that, I don't know what you could ask for besides a game number 3. So we're going to head on to that, but after a quick commercial break. So stick around. We'll be right back with game number 3 between vVv going up against Victorious Gaming here on Chaos TV. bye.